Premier Eby is speaking right now, Premier of British Columbia. Let's get that shot up, folks, and let's take you there.
Father, thank you, everybody. I wasn't expecting to speak this morning. I'm just here to stand with the community in solidarity, as many of you are here this morning, after hearing the horrific news from last night, the attack on a community who, in my experience, has only ever been about love and family and community. The Filipino community in our province is so beautiful and contributes so much, and to have a street celebration of all of the community's culture and art and food, we won't let this define that celebration. It's hard to feel it now, but we'll come out of it stronger. You can see the community standing together here today, as we will in the days to come, with the family and friends of those who were injured, those who have died. We're all grieving today and in shock, and our hearts go out to everybody. I want to thank all of my colleagues from the political world who are here today to show that we stand as government with the community, and all from different religious denominations and different cultures who are here today. We all stand together with the Filipino community today, and I know that's actually the case around the world. Thank you so much for your compassion and support for the community and for those affected. We stand with you today and going forward in the days to come.
Okay, that's BC Premier David Eby speaking at a church addressing the tragedy that took place last night in Vancouver. We understand that at 3 p.m. Eastern, that's noon Pacific, he is going to be holding another press conference. We will bring that to you live on CBC News Network. So we just heard from an NDP MLA with the community organizers. We've heard from the Premier. And of course, the federal party leaders are reacting to the events in Vancouver. CBC's Alexander Silverman is tracking all of that for us. So Alex, let's begin with NDP Leader Jagmeet Singh, who spoke in Penticton, BC, but also really important to note, he was at the festival last night and during the day. So really hitting home for him quite close. Talk to us about what we're hearing from the NDP leader.
That's right, Natasha. Jagmeet Singh, who spoke not too long ago, was clearly, visibly very emotional, clearly deeply shaken by this incident, this tragedy, describing it as a dark day, saying it's heartbreaking that in a moment at an event with so much joy, things could result in so much tragedy. Of course, an important reminder that Singh himself attended this community festival, was there. He described meeting with many families, many young people, and sharing in with the joy and the festivities, leaving just moments before all of this tragedy unfolded. Singh was speaking earlier at an event in Penticton in the BC interior, very emotional, tearing up at one point when describing the events that happened. Have a listen.
We carry forward the flame of resistance, the strength to stand tall, to protect one another, to never let hate define us. To the families, to the survivors, to everyone grieving today, we see you, we mourn with you, we stand with you, and we will not let hate win, not now, not ever.
So Jagmeet Singh was speaking at an event in the BC interior in Penticton not too long ago, but important to note that he's revised his plan for the day in wake of this tragedy, canceling much of the remainder of his schedule. The Liberal campaign as well canceled its first event this morning, along with rallies that they were initially planning to hold in Calgary and Richmond, BC. So the party's remaining events expected to look much different in tone than initially planned.
Let's talk about some of the other leaders. What are they saying today?
So I'll start with Liberal leader Mark Carney, who stepped away from the campaign trail as Liberal leader to address this tragedy in his capacity as Prime Minister, address Canadians across the country, and in particular, the Filipino Canadian community. Carney says he was briefed late overnight by many of his colleagues, National Security Advisor, Public Safety Minister as well, and says they do not believe at this point that there's an active threat to Canadians. Carney also going on to say that he's been in touch with the BC Premier's office and Vancouver Mayor's office and plans to speak with them both later today and continue to stay in touch with local law enforcement. Carney also reaching out to the Filipino community, offering his condolences and saying he stands with them during this difficult time. Have a listen to some of his comments.
The strength and the resilience of the Filipino Canadian community is exemplified by the Tagalog term bayanihan. It captures the Filipino spirit of community, of cooperation and unity to achieve a common goal. And it's this spirit upon which we must draw in this incredibly difficult time. We will comfort the grieving. We will care for each other. We will unite in common purpose.
So in light of this tragedy, Carney's campaign will now hold smaller events to thank supporters in Saskatoon and Edmonton, like I mentioned, canceling those larger rallies that were scheduled for later. We're also hearing from Conservative Leader Pierre Poilievre, who visited a Filipino church in Toronto earlier today to take some time to mourn with the community and offer his condolences. Have a listen.
I know many of you are shocked, heartbroken, and saddened by this senseless act of violence and by the innocent and treasured lives that have been lost. And Anna and I just wanted you all to know that our hearts are with you today.
Poilievre offering a message of solace and solidarity with the Canadian Filipino community. His campaign has a very different change in tone today, different from the rallies that we've seen in recent days as he's been forced to pivot and adapt to these events. We saw one of the leaders' events earlier today in Ontario had a moment of silence at the beginning as the final day of this campaign now very much up in the air, lots of schedule changes happening, and what these events look like has been very different so far, as all of the parties, Natasha, are really forced to adapt to a shift in tone with this somber mood today in face of this horrific tragedy. Natasha?
CBC's Alexander Silberman reporting from Ottawa. Thank you, Alex.